then they...
Now, were you planning to go active duty, or were you in the reserves?
No, so I'd signed up, and my recruiter, who I'll never forget, he was legit, man. You hear a lot of like horror stories about recruiters.
I literally have a question in here. It's like, how was your recruiter? Because so many people have good recruiter stories, one way or the other. They either screwed them or totally took care of them.
So my recruiter, first of all, he got me out of a lot of stuff where I was like, dude, where nowadays there's no way. It just wouldn't fly. Yeah. And I was like, how the hell did you do? He's like, don't worry about it. You just better be at MEPS when I tell you to be at MEPS. I'm like, bro, you can drive me if you want. But he had, so they, most recruiting stations are like inside a shopping center or whatever. So they were right next to like a big grocery store chain. And one day some dude goes and steals some stuff and he chases him down and like whips his ass in the parking lot. So he was a firefighter in the Corps, right? Oh, right. So, and I volunteered for infantry. I was like, I want to be a grunt. He tried talking me out of it for months. Yeah. He's like, Jake, you really don't want to do that. I was like, no, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And but he chased the dude down, and I was like, see, that was, for me, that was affirmation from God that I'm doing the right thing,
These are my people.
This is where I'm supposed to be, But it was, man, I think it was the second week of football season, and I jacked up my right knee, my MCL, my right knee, and when I went and signed the paperwork, I was on crutches and in a brace, and I opened the door and like hobble in, and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm just here to sign up." And he goes, "Not like that, you're not." And I said, "Give me 2 weeks. We're playing whoever we're playing." I said, "I'll be on the field. Give me 2 weeks." And he was like, "There's no way." I said, "Okay, be here in 2 weeks." And he showed up, and I played. It hurt like hell. But I played through it, lied to my trainers, lied to the coaches. I was like, "No, I'm good. Just the young, dumb, power before IQ, right? Just power through. Yeah. If you can just power through, you don't really need the IQ.
Yeah.
And that's what...
If you're going to be stupid, you got to be tough.
That's it, man. And there's a lot of truth to that, which we can all attest to that, right? No Every doubt. Person. I don't care if you have a pecker or not. You can attest to that. If you're going to be stupid, you better be tough.
Got to be tough, for sure.
And so I ended up playing, and I signed up. I didn't tell anybody, and then it was actually I graduated by the grace of God and because of high school football in Texas, and it was amazing, man, because my dad actually met my recruiter at the high school graduation, and he was in his dress blues, which is the best uniform there is. Mm-hmm. No one can argue, and if you do, you're just stupid. Yeah. But he walks up, and I said, "Hey, Dad, I'd like you to meet my recruiter." And he looked at me, and my recruiter held his hand out to shake his hand, and my dad looked at me, and he said...
And your dad, was this your dad finding out?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
And he said, "Why would you do that?" And then he looks at my recruiter, looks back at me, like waiting for me to answer. I said, "Dad, I would shake his hand. You're a banker. I would shake his hand. Pretty sure he could take you." And he was pissed, man. He was pissed because and I didn't understand why at the time, really. But later on,
this is 2000, right? This is pre
2000. 2001 actually. That was my graduation. So this is May or June 2001. Okay, so yeah, this is pre 9/11.
Pre 9/11.
I'm already signed up. I'm in. I'm going. And he...
so your dad's thoughts were more around like, hey, you should go to college, you should get a job, I'm a banker, it's a good life, that type of thing. You don't need to go and do this other stuff.
Exactly. Okay. And so my thing was...
Because there's no war going on, at that time.
Right,
so.
Yeah, no. I mean, it was quote-unquote peacetime, and which we all know there's no such thing, but whatever. Whatever rainbows and roses and lollipops people want to have in their safety bubble. But I knew that's what I was destined to do. I knew it. Like, I felt it as much as I know that, like, my leg's never going to grow back. Like, I knew that much, that this is what I'm supposed to do. And I was hell-bent on it. hell bent. And so when my dad was pissed, I questioned it because maybe I didn't tell him or I kept it from him, and a myriad of things, right? I mean, it's never just one thing. Anything is never just one thing. Like, I love people like, well, I know what the problem is. I'm like, well, what do you want to bet there's more than one? Because it's just the way it is. But I didn't realize, and I didn't think about, at the time I'm 19 at this point, and I didn't think about, he had seen what war does to not only a person, but someone that is his blood, his flesh and blood. He's seen the after effects. So
he saw was his dad an EWO? Was that his dad or was that your mom's dad?
That was my dad's dad.
And his brother?
His older brother. Yeah. Okay. And so he had seen the after effects and seen, my grandfather was a hard man. And, the way that he was a man when it was okay to be a man, and you wouldn't get judged for being a man. Whereas now that's a lot. I mean, don't act like you don't know what the hell I'm talking about either. Because now it's like, but you can use either bathroom. That's okay. Oh. Like it's.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm looking at you with a blank stare because I'm like detached from all that, all that political. I don't even. It's weird, man. My life is weird that I just kind of revolve in my own little world. So when I hear when that kind of stuff enters my world, I'm just kind of like, is that really happening? And it doesn't really compute, and I move on. I don't know.
Well, see, but when you're in my world, it's almost, you have to know. Unfortunately, with what we're trying to do, it's it's a big ass mountain we're trying to move, man. Yeah. And